I've seen the God Committee, and I was riveted. It was a riveting movie, and I didn't know much about it. I didn't even know that whole process existed. And I thought the ensemble was terrific. I thought you played a very important role. You were great in it as well. Let's start with how did you get attached to that film? What drew you to the role of Father Dunbar? And let's just go from there.
You know what? I just received an email from Austin Stark. Actually, let me go back. No, I received an email from Jane Oster, who was a producer on Birth of a Nation, who we became dear friends. And she says, oh, my friend Austin is directing this incredible script, and we talked about you, and he really would love for you to be a part of it, to play Father Dunbar. So they sent me the script, and immediately reading the script, that honestly, I thought it was so emotional. It was all on the page. The whole argument about who gets an organ, about these life or death decisions that are made for us. And I thought I'd never, like you, I never knew that there was a committee for this and that it was always justified by all these various reasons. But someone's life is at stake. And then when you bring money into the equation as well, that challenges everything of what needs are of a hospital, saving one person or saving many others. And so I thought it was pretty beautiful and powerful. And especially, we shot this before the pandemic. And then as the pandemic raged on, I thought, wow, these are the decisions that are being made in every hospital, every single day, with all of our lives. And I just thought, I loved Father Dunbar. I loved his backstory. I loved him, coming into the fray and sort of being that outside voice and really just taking it all in. He's got nothing at stake but holding people accountable and letting them being honest, about what the needs are and who gets the organ. I thought that was fascinating. So I loved it.
Well, I mean, the concept of a film that centers around the question of how much is a day in the life worth. I mean, that's heavy stuff to begin with, and that had to be a burden for you and the entire cast because you had this type of this heavy material. But when you have this type of ensemble, I can't imagine you could have asked for a better group to accomplish that goal.
They were truly incredible, working with Kelsey and Julia and Janeane and Dan. I mean, everyone, every player brought their absolute best. And some of the scenes, it's funny because I think there's not a lot of huge moving pieces to it. It sort of feels like a play in many ways. I think it sort of lingers, and it's about the arguments, it's about the dialogue, and it's about it's all character driven as well. And I thought it feels very old school when it comes to trusting an audience that they can sit with these ideas and how that activates story. It feels very old school. It feels like something that was shot in like the 70s to me.
How do you feel about it premiering at Tribeca? I feel like that's a really good place for this to launch from, in my opinion.
Same here, because it's truly a New York film. We shot the film in Brooklyn. You can feel the New York on it in every single way. And especially coming out now after New York, in particular, New York City has been shaken by the pandemic. And to look at how we're coming out and then how are we going to examine this as we go into the future. I think it's a great time to examine these things. We need our comedies, we need our road trips, you name it, but we also need these sort of sermons on our morality and mortality. And it feels like this film does meet that. Really.
And the film really makes the argument that nothing is pure. I mean, in these choices, nothing is pure.
Nothing is pure, but it's just like politics as well. Like nothing is pure. People are always trying to get something, and there's always a need behind the need. And then it's like, how do we come together with that? The needs of a hospital, the needs of an individual, the needs of a group, the needs of the doctor, the needs of reputation. You know what I mean? Yeah, but everything is complicit.
Now, my favorite line in the movie, and yes, it's your line, so yeah, maybe I'm a little biased, but it's my favorite line in the movie. You're talking about choices and it being quantified, those choices, and if you don't have things to back up those choices, you're essentially playing God, and it kind of shakes the room. And I really think that's the thesis of his piece. You really are the moral backbone, for lack of a better way to put it, of the whole movie. And that's why Father Dunbar is so important, because as we know, in the end, justice is served in a roundabout way, and you're the one who delivers the justice.
Absolutely, and to understand that he understands, he's like, I think I don't know if it's still in the movie, but I think he says at some point, I was a man first before I was a priest.
It
So
is.
remember, I understand. He understands very clearly where this is coming from. So he understands the problems and the complicated things that man must bring. But he's saying, my job is to be impartial and to just say, let's lay it all out and just get to the root of like what is essential and what is necessary and what needs to be done, case by case. And for you not to, have this other thing, yeah, but I need this, but it'd be nice if we had, a better hospital. It'd be nice if we had this, it's like, no, none of strip it down again and see who's the best candidate for this organ.